and my phone beeped again. And I looked at it, but I'm putting that into the members only section. So I didn't even see the fake bird alligator clipped to the freaking hedge. And I hold it and I said, "Who's this? What's her name?" And then the lady goes, "Da, da, 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 da," and next thing you know, they start laughing and Okay, good evening again. This is part 2 of 2, I hope. Okay. But I left off, I was outside of 7 and I had already ordered my pork. I was going into the store and my phone beeped again. And I looked at it and it said Bangkok Bank deposit of X, right? 25,240 or 290 or 294, something like that. Okay, I don't remember it, but 25K. And I'm just going, what in the hell? I'm just completely dumbfounded. There's a whole section of the story that you're missing because I kept talking after part 1, right? But I'm putting that into the members only section. So let me back up a bit. Carlito and I had lunch. We're walking up the hill and he has to pass my hotel. He looks over and sees the pool, goes, "Oh, wow, you got a pool?" "Yeah, I got a pool." So I said, "Yeah, I'll go look at the pool." So we look at the pool and then I see this on the hedge. They trimmed the hedge right there too on the entry to the hotel next to the sidewalk. And I look at this leaf, right? And I'm like, what in the hell is that? It was this odd colored, it looked like a type of bug, right? And he said, "That's a bird." I says, "It ain't a fucking bird." I was so focused, like, on the damn odd colored thing, I didn't even see the fake bird alligator clipped to the freaking hedge. They were like, every few feet there was a different colored bird, like you would do Christmas lights or something. I'm like, holy shit! I didn't even see that, man. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. So we laughed about it. All right, man. See you later. You know, hasta la vista, right? And then I went inside, and I said, because when I left in the morning, I said to the old lady, right, who's 35, I started to walk to the counter to do something for Randy, okay, but then I thought, I'm meeting a guy. When I come back, I'll see you. So I came back to see her, and she wasn't there. The other two were there, but I had taken from my coffee chat. The thumbnail has the 4 women that cleaned my room. All 4 of them at the same time cleaned my room, right? He took that photo and made a red circle around this one and an arrow and said, "Dude, she looks familiar. I think she cleaned my room when I was there last year. I think she cleaned my room every day for the however long he was here, right? A month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks." He said, "God, that would just be just unbelievable." And of course I made a joke like, "Oh, they all look alike, you know." But so I go up to the counter and I've got this picture that I've cropped everybody else out and just have her. So it's full screen of just this one girl. And I hold it and I said, "Who's this? What's her name?" And then the lady goes, "Da, da, 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 da." And next thing you know, they start laughing, and then the older lady comes around the corner, she's laughing. "Oh, you want to date her? You want to date her?" I'm like, no. This is for my friend Randy, my friend, the big man, tall man, handsome man, silver hair, Remember last year he come? Yeah, I remember him. Nice man. I said, yeah. He recognized her from hotel that he was at last year. He think it's the same girl. I said, did she work? How long has she worked here, or something to that effect? And she said, yeah, she worked different hotel before, but I don't know where. And then the one lady wrote down her name, right? So I finally, got him convinced that no, I'm not perving on this one. I'm just getting information, and he doesn't want to date her or nothing. He's just like, is that really from all the way in Central Pattaya? Now she's working here, and he recognized her from my thumbnail. What a freaking odd world we live in, right? It turns out it's her. That's just funny as shit. Okay, so back to Carlito and me. We left the store. We're coming past to go look at the pool because he saw the pool. That hedge had been trimmed there also. And there's these, I stop and I'm looking at, a fresh trimmed part, and I see this odd colored thing sticking out. It looked like a dragonfly wing, right? And I put my finger on there. I'm going, what kind of bug? What the fuck? What kind of bug is this, right? And it's gray and black, and like, wow. And Carlito says, that's a bird, Mitch. I said, it ain't a fucking bird. The bird would have flown away. And then I went, oh shit, it is a bird. They had little birds, alligator clipped to the fucking hedge. So, in Carlito's comment on one of the videos, I says, hey, thanks for lunch. You had a great, blah blah blah. But I said, I thought they loved me here, but the manager gave me the bird when I got here. She did. She said she gave me one of the birds off the freaking tree. I mean, it's just a little bird. I'm like, son of a bitch. I mean, I was looking at a different colored one, but this gray part right here, I was just seeing that. Person sees what they want to see and they disregard the rest, right? I'm looking at that. What the fuck is that? Not even seeing this and a damn alligator clip, plain as freaking day. I'm just seeing that. This was behind the greenery, right? So I'll give myself a little bit of a benefit of the doubt thing, but I kind of wanted the blue one, but I was wearing a red shirt, so anyway. And when I did that, when we walked in the lobby, she said, I gave him a bird, and then I went, they make noise, they do it. I said, no, that was me. Anyway, so fast forward now. Back to the evening, I'm at 7. I've ordered my pork. My phone beeps at me. I look at my phone, and it says Bangkok Bank, and so I click on it. New message, right? 25,000 X, 294, 249. It's close enough. 25K deposited in my account. And I'm just going, I was just like, what's going on here? I mean, I was just like, this is, screw it. I'll figure it out when I get back to my room. You know what I mean? I'll just look at it when I get back to the room. But I'm thinking, 25 and some change, 25 and some change. What the hell? You know, I haven't bought anything. I've never bought anything that expensive off Lazada, and I would be expecting a refund if I'd have requested one, that kind of thing, right? Let me look at the time. Okay, we're fine. So I started going through my messages, and I saw my refund for when they did my second surgery on this eye, on my left eye, right? They gave me a sizable freaking refund. You know, it's $45K, which I thought it was going to be $100, but $45,000 because she waived her fees, and her staff, I think I already said this in the video, but her staff waived theirs, which I believe I said they can't actually waive theirs. So what they did was they took a half a day of their paid vacation, paid holiday. Five of these staff, you know, they couldn't discount the room, they couldn't discount all the consumables and shit that I used, right? But the operating room and the leasing on the equipment, that every piece of equipment, that I paid for, right? But the doctor and the freaking staff followed suit and declined money, which tallied 19,000 and some fucking change or whatever it was. And then I get this message, and I'm like, So I took the two numbers, which I don't know exactly what they are, and it added up to 45,000. And I'm like, holy shit. They refunded everything for this second surgery. Like I said, that shit doesn't happen to Mitch. Period. That does not happen to me. Ever. Like, I was just like, I'm in shock. Not like, oh, call an ambulance, but I'm like dumbfounded. So tomorrow, when I go to my appointment, which I'm still nervous about, because I'm still doing this, I can read that. I can read the emergency exit sign, right? Same thing. But I'm going to go to the finance office and say, show her my phone and say, okay, I got this refunded, and then I got this refunded. Is there a mistake here? You know, I'm going to be upfront and forward, because you know when banks make mistakes, they'll just take it out of your account, right? They'll just pull it out. You'll get a memo, but it's not like, oh, I just got free chunk of change. You know what I mean? Because people, machines and people make mistakes. It's even AI says we can be incorrect, right? So I'm not gonna go, holy shit, man, I got 25K. Hey, what can I buy? You know? No, I don't do that kind of shit. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna say, hey, did you guys, someone slip something and misconstrue something and refund me the entirety on accident, or what? Because sometimes when someone makes a mistake like that, they get fucking fired. You know what I mean? So I don't want anybody's livelihood in jeopardy, right? So I'm going to go in. First thing I'm going to do, probably before my appointment, I'm going to go is there a mistake here? And if they say, no, the powers that be discussed it and said, total refund. Because it made the news, it made the water cooler news in the building that the doctor waived her fee and the 5 nursing staff waived theirs. So that made the rounds. So someone in charge caught wind of this. This is what I'm pulling out of my, okay, crystal ball, okay, which is cracked and needs to be polished, but I'm pulling it out of my, keister, all right? But I'm thinking that maybe some powers that be, somebody up the ladder, caught wind of this and said, this person actually deserves a full refund for having to go through that traumatic, it's eye surgery, baby. People are frightened. I still am, that something may happen, that I may accidentally poke myself in the eye. I'm going to keep my hand here so in case I go too far. Oh shit. I'm pulling my eyeball. So dude, I'm just like over the top. I really am. So that was what I was going to finish up on, was the bird. And then later this evening, when I went to 7, I get this ding. I'm just like, wow. So, looking at the clock, it's going to be 2 parts, okay? 2 parts. That the chunk, the 50 minutes I've been talking in between is going to be members only. But like many channels do, they'll have a members only video, and they even advertise it on YouTube. It says, okay, the benefits are you get to see a video, a week before everyone else does, So I'm like, that's kind of, what the hell? But maybe somebody will like it, and then they'll go, well, man, maybe I want to become a member. Yeah, it's 99 cents, okay? It's $1. But $1's $1, right? Plus tax. And YouTube takes 40% of that. But I don't care if it was $10 or $20 for the membership. I still appreciate that you guys, the members, are care enough or confident enough or whatever in my ability to provide you with some entertainment. I appreciate that. That's really the only money I make, because I'm monetized, but I don't have AdSense. They roll commercials, so YouTube's making money from the advertisers, and hopefully the advertisers, well, they're writing it off, right? So they're technically making money by not having to, they're writing it off. And then maybe someone that sees one of my videos says, hey man, I really want that, whatever the hell it is that's advertised. Because everybody gets a different advertisement. Because the frickin' Big Brother is watching you, and they send shit that you watch, that you're interested in. That's why Chuck, because he's done the travel trailer thing before he moved to Thailand, on some of his videos, it'll be survival food, America's best long-term 30-year 5-gallon bucket of food, right? People get that. I get that, because I'm always watching homesteading and shit like that, right? I don't watch Thailand videos. I watch some, but I gotta like turn my head. I was supposed to get that damn remote control sitting on the bed. I was gonna turn the TV off so it wouldn't distract me. But anyway, I appreciate all of you for watching. I appreciate your comments. A lot of you make me laugh. I can take a joke, okay, but I don't want to encourage it because it might offend some of the other viewers. So I have to be diligent of that. I have to be mindful of that. So, but I can take a joke, okay. I laugh a lot of times, but sometimes I have to go out. I won't let that one go because it may offend XYZ. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't say XYZ because that sounds like I'm talking about the alphabet. You know, I don't want to. I want to keep it simple, stupid. Me, Mitch, keep it simple, stupid. I want everyone to have fun. Speak freely. Speak your mind. As long as you're not an asshole, it's gonna stay up. You know, as long as it doesn't mess with YouTube's. I've already said this before. I'm not gonna keep repeating myself. Okay, I'm gonna do more for my members, and I'm gonna do more for my subscribers. Okay, some better shit. You know, this whole fiasco with my eye surgery, I haven't been able to go out and walk. I haven't been able to go down to the beach and park my ass and show you the surf. You know, nothing. I've been stuck in quarantine, basically. All right? So you've been getting coffee chats or me sitting at the table chat in my room. Nothing. Like when I'm going to the hospital to my appointment, there's some road shots, you know, which a lot of people like. I actually like when I was at work, you know, for another company, not working for myself. I would have YouTube on the screen while I'm doing a takeoff, right? An estimate for a job. I'd be taking notes and then I'd plug it into the spreadsheet. More notes, you know, measure this, measure that. Okay, yeah. How many man hours? How many this? How many that? Right. But I'll be looking at maybe somebody's video, and there'll be some road shit, right? And I'll go, "Oh, I recognize that. Yeah, you don't like that." Then the boss would come in. How's it going? And I'd good. And so I'm tapping the screen, so it switches back to the estimate sheet. Liar. Anyway, so I appreciate everybody watching, and just hanging in there. You know, I appreciate it. I hope I can produce some better stuff. All right, that's it for now. Good night from Pattaya. Bye. Oh, thanks for watching. Bye.